It is music done by Xander Zakuza right here on 107.5. It's titled Kailami, and she's not alone in that one. She's featuring Master KG and Prince Benza. Then, of course, played you a song done by Lima Blaze and Friends, titled Silent Night, the Afrobeat version of that one. It's 10:15. If you just tune in, good morning and welcome. If you're looking for a copy of today's devotion, all you have today, rather to do, is let me know on WhatsApp line and I'll send it to you on 061 Right, folks, we are now live on YouTube, on our Facebook as well. Tell a friend to tell their friends to join in because I'm now joined in by Wes and, touching on a very important topic, the pressures of the festive season and also how we can lean on hope. And he's joining me live right now. Good morning, Wes. How are you?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Good morning.
Fantastic. How is Joburg?
Joburg's a buzz as always. People are spending far too much money on presents, but that's what Christmas is about for some people. You've always
Yeah.
got to buy a gift, but yeah, Joburg's great.
Yeah, fantastic. I love to hear that. Listen, I want us to, before we can jump right straight into it, right? Just a brief introduction of who Wes is.
Who Wes is? I'm a coach, a life coach. I work with people. I love development of people, how to get people to think differently, to see people change and develop. I work also with startups and entrepreneurs all the way to large corporates. We do a lot of strategy work at the same time, organizational culture, and then I do a lot of leadership development at the same time. So it's all
Mm,
around getting people to think better, perhaps, or to think for a change. I always talk about people thinking for a change because when last did you think for a change? But if you want something in your world to turn around, you've got to give it some focused thought, and that's where it starts.
yeah, sure. That is a beautiful. Now, Wes, I want us to chat about some of the pressures, that people experience over the festive season. Please talk us through those.
Yeah, I think it differs from person to person and circumstances. But what we've noticed is that there's a rise of depression stats and also suicide stats over the festive seasons, and that can range anywhere starting early December to kind of late January.
Mm,
Um, but that comes from a range of different reasons, and I think some of them, if you have a look at it, it's fear of what's going into the new year. A lot of people looking to start something, but they haven't quite finished what they thought they were going to do in the previous year. Unmet goals, unmet expectations, a sense of failure, perhaps. Financial stress and strain in today's economy is also a
mm,
huge factor. How am I going to buy those Christmas presents?
yeah.
My kids want this, or I've got to do this. I've got so much debt, and we're carrying debt through into the new year. Loneliness as well. People face loneliness this time of the year because perhaps they've lost loved ones in the last year or in the last 2 years. And now they've got to go through a festive season where everybody's happy, but they're lonely on the inside and they're not necessarily seen. Um, or they're
Yeah.
sick and tired of talking about it because it's just such a deep thing for them. So depression is a big issue this time of year. People feel isolated and insulated perhaps, um, and they don't want to be a part of something, so they start to withdraw, and we lose people because they lose hope.
Sure, sure. Now, in the same breath, you mentioned in a statement that you have a dedicated cell phone to receive calls or WhatsApps, and you are willing to take a call at any time of the day or night, as long as someone needs to
Yes.
talk, as long as someone needs hope. I want you to talk us through the motivation, what inspired you to run or start this hope hotline.
Yeah. I think it's the fact that every now and then, as human beings, it doesn't matter how powerful you think you are, how positive your mind is, you go through a period of hopelessness. And that's what it is. You just have a little less hope for something. And I've walked the journey before where you're going, am I going to make it through this season? Am I going to make it through this period? And who do I talk to? Because the people around me might think I'm going crazy, or they judge me for something. I don't have a safe environment that I can share my heart and share my needs. And sometimes you're too close to your family or friends to share your vulnerabilities, because it's a very brave thing to share with somebody, um, because you don't want them to worry, perhaps, at the same time. And you'll see that, it's the kind of thing where you bump into a stranger sometimes, and you have a chat, and all of a sudden you feel better about where you're at. And perhaps I was just making myself available as that stranger to somebody who needs an ear. It might not even be to give them advice, it's just to go, hey, listen, I need somebody to talk to, with zero judgment, zero perspective, and just say, hey, listen, give me a call. If you need to chat, I will be that. Yeah, I'm making myself available over this
Mm.
festive season into January, um, where people can say, look, where's help? I need somebody to speak to. I need hope because I can't take this anymore. And
Sure.
it usually ends up in a session where, you know, either I'm assisting them or giving them a perspective, and helping them remain a little bit more positive, and even perhaps putting a plan together for them to say, hey, listen, this is what you need to be able to do, or what are your dreams? Because people have lost dreams over the last period. It's been a tough couple of
Mm.
years. It's been a busy year. A lot of people are telling me how crazy their year has been. It feels like 2 years have been in this one year. So, yeah, it's just to say, hey, listen, somebody's got to stand in the gap for somebody else. And I'm putting my hand up and saying, okay, God, use me for that. I don't mind.
Sure, sure. That is beautiful, Liz, and I really commend you for that. Now, you mentioned that, any time of the day or night. I just want to ask quickly before you can share perhaps, a few success stories or even one. In case of, you are unavailable or you can't take a call at that particular time, what is your turnaround time?
Within 5 minutes. But here's the deal: I will be available,
Mm,
because people's lives matter, and people matter, and their feelings matter. And the last thing that you want is for somebody to reach out to you because they don't have anybody else and you're not available. So this particular mobile number is with me 24 hours a day. If I'm sleeping, it's on loud, and I will wake up at the drop of a hat to take a call. Um, it's a little bit difficult when you're in the shower, but I'll get out quickly.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah. I don't have a waterproof app on my phone, but it's definitely 100% available. It's always charged. There's data. So yeah, it's a helpline, and people need help.
Mm.
It's a hope line, and people need hope.
Sure, I love that. Now, please, if you have any, please share, a success story, from someone who called you middle of the night, even during the day, and they was like, "Where's I'm giving up." Please talk us through some of, the few success stories.
Well, I think you're looking at one for the first part.
Hmm.
Somebody asked me what qualifies you to do this. Who are you, kind of thing, that you can do this. And I think what qualifies me is that I'm still alive, by the grace of God. I
Mm,
went through depression a couple of years ago where suicide was an option for me. And it's so dark and so heavy. I always describe it as that powder, that black powder at the bottom of a bag of charcoal. You can't see through it, you can't breathe through it. And God Himself pulled me out of that. So here's a success story, but it's not my success. It's God's grace and His
mm,
glory. I just get to tell the story, you know.
yeah.
So that's one for sure, and that's why I think I'm putting myself in a gap this year for a stranger, because if we can help someone, that's someone, you know. Last night I had somebody text me saying, "Hey, Wes, I'm thinking about giving up on marriage. I don't know what to do anymore. I can't take this." And
Sure.
that was 2 o'clock in the morning from a different
Sure.
country, as a matter of fact.
Mhm.
So they were ahead of us in time, and I got a text, and I kept the person on the line, and they're not suicidal. But here's the deal: it's not necessarily about being suicidal. It's just, where's I need an ear, I need some hope, I need some perspective. So yeah, 10 past 2 this morning, I'm on the phone and texting them and giving them perspective, and we will continue the conversation a little bit later today as well. So every
Mm.
little opportunity that you get is success. But it's also more than that. It's about being significant in somebody's world, because
Oh.
perhaps they don't feel that significance. So, what is success? Well, I think success is saving just one person. If
Mm.
this period saves one person, guess what? I'm prepared to stay up at 2 in the morning and speak to somebody. If it can save a relationship, fantastic. Let's do that. That's success, but it's also significance. I always talk about the fact that success is measured against yourselves and others, but significance is measured against eternity. And if you
Mm.
operate with that eternal mindset, there are things that are going to go wrong. We live here on earth, okay? But the fact of the matter is, if you strive for something that is more significant than just successful, you're creating a long term legacy. And the fact is that we all want to leave a legacy one day. But what
Mm.
kind of legacy will that be? So instead of waiting to leave a legacy, let's live legacy every single day.
Oh, that is powerful. Thank you so much for that one. Now, for someone who's listening and they're wondering, I love this helpline, but does it come at a cost? Talk us through that.
Oh, it absolutely comes at a cost. It comes with
Mhm.
their bravery, and it comes with their time, and it comes with
Oh,
their willingness. They don't have to pay a single cent to speak to me. They don't have to pay a single cent for hope. I'll be on the other side of the line, and I'll take the call. I'll take the WhatsApp. I'll take the video call. It doesn't matter. There's no cost involved in terms of money, but there's a cost involved in terms of they've got to be ready and prepared to reach out and to invest in themselves. And as I said, sometimes it's a very difficult thing to do. It's a very brave thing to do. So
mm.
that's their cost. But beyond that, it's free. And I think beyond that, there's freedom.
Yeah. As someone is requesting for your contact details, and that takes us to the tail of our conversation. How can people get a hold of you?
Sure. So the Hope line is +27 071 064 6515. I'll say that again. It's +27 071 064 6515. And they're welcome to call me on that number. And yeah, at any time of the day or night, Christmas, New Year, it doesn't matter. I'll have the phone with me.
Sure, fantastic. And speaking about Christmas, do you have any closing remarks or comments as we wrap up this conversation today?
Yeah, I think in terms of Christmas, don't forget what it's really about. It's the Christ in the Christmas. It's not about the gifts, it's not about the presents. It's about being present, perhaps, with those people who are significant in your life. But be
Mm.
present with yourself. Take some time out. I think it's important to rest because South Africa and South Africans, we're on the go the whole time. But be intentional about taking care of yourself this season. Don't overindulge. Don't overspend. There's always the January dip. So
Mm.
if you can keep your mind on that, set yourself some goals because that'll help you get through the next year. And if you want me to chat to you a little bit about that in another time, I'd be happy to help your listeners around that one too.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. We will definitely set something up. But for now, Wes, I have to love and leave you. You've been amazing. People are asking for your contact details. Someone is saying, please post this on our Facebook. They want to get a hold of you. You know, people need
Sure.
hope out there. And the fact that you are there, availing yourself 24/7 is really commendable. Thank you so much. And compliments of the season.
To you too. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Right. If you